Alright. Just remember, Acavarius Mordekaiser.
Right. Just be warned that I want to take the guns off him and all. Yes, take the guns off him. No use having them lying around, right?
You're absolutely right.
I have no use for guns, but I would like to get those. Oh shoot! Hold on. Hangouts.
Yes, I heard it.
Oh, okay, that wasn't mine then. Now, when we were checking them over, did they have any little anything that could possibly be used for me?
Let's see. Yeah, in one of the saddlebags you do find a couple of copper coils and a few interesting looking gadgets that you have yet to study completely to figure out what they are.
Okay, I'll root around in the bags and I'll be like, there was something that I did personally want, and I pull out the coils and the little gadgets. These things right here, if
Yep.
you don't mind.
Well, the sheriff frowns and then goes, "Oh, you're one of those mad scientists, are you?"
Mad scientist, how dare you? I am a philosophical and learned man. I have a doctorate from Burnchild Institute.
I'm sure you do. Just try to make sure that nothing explodes, will ya?
Explode. I haven't had an explosion in almost 3 years. And I pride myself on that. Usually, my folk kind of can't go without for about 2 months, but I haven't had one for 3 years.
Well, you're mighty lucky then.
Yes, I am.
Good. Let's hope that luck keeps running strong, Mr. Acavarius Mordekaiser.
Yes, sir. Thank you, and I will take my leave.
Yeah, you can take those what's-it with you anyway.
Sweet, you are the man. I'm out. And he leaves.
All right. And with that, I would like to take a short break for me to do a chore. Oh wait, it's already done. Never mind. I'm going to need to. I need to apologize after later on. Anyway, right. Yes. Right. Nobody wants to do anything at the sheriff's, I presume.
I have nothing to do at the sheriff's other than, making sure I got what I wanted.
Yeah, John will stick around to collect their trophy and then just head out.
Trophy? Do you
collect
mean
the
bounty?
reward? I mean reward, bounty, yeah.
He says, I'm going to, as the sheriff has said already, he needs to check the paperwork and he'll be with you as soon as he's got sorted out who is worth what.
Alright. Well, John just goes, well, you know where you can find me, and then he just takes off.
Indeed.
Walking in the streets, pulling out a cigarette, because he's a bounty hunter, and lights it up. Struts along the city streets, going nowhere in particular.
Alright. Sure.
Wait, don't you have something to do, Dries? Or Nico?
I'm not.
Like, investigating something? Did you get the email with the list of things that could be investigated?
Oh my god, yes. Hang on. I'm gonna have to
Here, hold on. I've already got it up.
I would just want to say something. It's the dead of night.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
Well, he waltzes around a bit and then heads off to the inn they were supposed to stay in.
Yeah,
Takes the cigarette butt out, before he enters.
Right. Well, it takes a bit of doing to get the innkeeper up, but he, as soon as he sees you, he yawns. He sleepily welcomes you. Welcome to Hope Springs, strangers. My, Mighty late for travelers. You did not have a good journey, I presume. Alright, listen to me. Be all unneighborly like. Come on in, come on in. Can I get you something? Or just a room?
So first of all, he's like, "Oh, sorry, partner. We gotta hold up a bunch of roadway thugs, but we had to dispose of. But yeah, I'd like a room if you have any."
We sure have, hombre. We've got the fancy ones and we've got the decent and the good ones. And he grins and smiles a little.
What's the difference?
Price.
One does not have a leaking roof and the other one does.
Oh no, sir, you're insulting us. All of our rooms are filled with the latest amenities of this time. We haven't had a leak in 2 years, and then the last one was due to some idiots shooting holes in the roof.
That does happen.
Just messing with your partner. I'd like one of the decent rooms, and then he like.
Sure.
You cut out.
Sure thing,
You hear
sir.
what I said?
So, I get the. You want a decent room. That's
Yes,
what I
and
got.
then he just was like, he was just like being wait, what's the word? Being witty, being humorous, stuff like that.
Yes. I'm afraid I missed that.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Oops.
Goddamn the hangouts, cutting
Mhm.
out.
Now, let's see. Yes, decent room. He also asks you if you want something to eat before dinner, before bed.
Nah. He eats by the block. He eats like what's this face?
Mm-hmm.
That's the word I'm looking for. In bulk, so to speak. So a lot, but not very often.
Mm-hmm. Of course. Now, let's see. Oh, before you retire for the night, sir, we have 2 breakfasts. We have one at an hour before dawn, and we have one at 8ish. I presume you want the 8 o'clock one, right?
You're absolutely right.
Excellent. I just want to make sure. Now, if there's anything I can do for you, just holler, alright?
I'll keep that in mind.
Right. And with that, you make arrangements for the night and for food and whatnot.
Yes.
Now I want I want to know the price difference between the two, and what is included with the special suite.
Yes, it's basically.
Wenches and rum.
No,
I'm sorry.
it's got a. Let's see. It's got a big window, a better bed. It's got a big window, a better bed, and it's also room for one. The decent rooms you share with four people, with 4 folk.
And how much is the price difference between
A few dollars.
A few.
I'll take the.
Wow.
I'll
can't
take
afford that.
the special room if you don't mind, and I want the hour before dawn wake up call. And if you don't mind, I need something strong on the rocks.
And he pours you a decent whiskey.
I take it in one gulp and I say, "All right." I pay the man and I'm off to my room.
All right. Yes, of course. The barkeep does not insist that you pay for your drinks, for anything you eat or drink, but the paying for rooms can wait until morning. He also wants to sleep. Yes.
Well, then I'll have another drink.
Not a problem. Anyway, that'll be $2 less because whiskey is not a cheap drink.
We're having fun.
I presume that Abram does not wish to be awoken at an hour before dawn.
Yes, he does.
He's
Very
a
well.
Actually,
preacher. He has
he
to
has
wake
a
up
yeah, he
early.
has a lot of work to do, but for he doesn't really impose himself all that much. He just asks for a cheap room, light dinner, maybe a nice glass of sarsaparilla.
The barkeep looks at the sarsaparilla pot and he goes, "Sure, sure, sir, whatever you wish." And he makes you a light dinner and a sarsaparilla.
Nice. He thanks him.
Mhm.
What you really think a man of faith is going to start drinking?
Of course not. Of course not. It's just hilarious because we're having whiskey.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Dries' character is going to have whiskey, and then there's this preacher who's drinking sarsaparilla out of a bottle, like.
Probably out of a glass though.
Yeah, oh well. Even
course.
worse.
No, that's fine, that's fine.
That's fine, of course. Yes, that makes great
Nothing
contrast.
wrong with a nice glass of cool sarsaparilla.
Indeed, it's
When's
a
your
great.
toast?
Yeah, much better. Yeah, you're right. Now, anyway, you have a nice, quiet night. Nothing tries to eat your head, which is
Nice.
always a good thing.
Very
It's-
suspicious.
In the middle of the night, Hope Springs is quiet, except for the fact that about 30 tons of water is pouring down outside, continuously.
Abraham
It takes
actually,
a bit of getting used to. Yes.
Abraham actually sleeps pretty close to his rifle because he was expecting an attack at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even John keeps his weapon somewhat close by, not really like in the bed, but leaning against the wall near it. Or if there is a nightstand, the revolver will be on the nightstand, all loaded up.
All right.
My wands are in my pockets in my jacket with the safety triggers on,
Mm-hmm.
just to make sure that they don't go shooting off randomly.
I like it that
Of
we
course.
all use different weapons.
Mhm.
We all
Mhm.
have our own
Indeed.
kind of weapon.
Which is
That's
awesome.
actually pretty cool.
Don't you have a rifle, Ramsey? Though.
Yeah, I'm a rifle user.
Yeah. So John has a rifle as well. It's a 73 Winchester.
Wow, you have a lot of money.
Oh,
I had-
Winchester. I love those
But I
rifles.
I love to. Like
Yep.
$9 left. I got like 10 ammo and 20 ammo for the pistol and 10 ammo for the rifle.
Now,
My
moving right
rifle
along.
isn't quite as professional. It's just a sporting rifle, actually. Yes, let's move along.
Yes.
I was just going to call it the porch rifle. Now, moving right along. Those of you who aren't woken up by the barkeep at an hour before dawn are woken up by the sound of boots. Dozens and dozens upon dozens of heavy boots that are crumping all around the first floor of the inn. There's a lot of ruckus. Yes, there's a lot of ruckus downstairs.
Luckily, I was awake at that time.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was the one who woke up hour before dawn.
Yeah,
So
me
did
too.
the preacher.
Me
Come
too.
on, the preacher.
Oh, he
man.
did? Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody woke up an hour before dawn
Except John.
to
Who
sleep.
was woken up by the boots?
Yes.
Well, that's what happens at an hour before dawn.
Oh.
Boots.
Okay, my bad.
Dozens upon dozens of heavy boots are just stomping all over the tavern floor. It sounds like a small army is invading.
Lovely.
Oh, so we're all woken up by that noise. Ah, okay.
Yes.
All right.
I've got Old Faithful in one hand and the camera obscura held underneath my jacket pocket
What's up
just
with
to
that
make sure.
camera?
You'll see
Okay, if you say
if
so.
I ever need to use it.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Anyway, of course, the barkeep just comes by, knocks on the door of those who want, saying, "It's an hour. It's now before dawn. It's now before dawn, sir. If you want to wake up, now is a good time. I'm needed in the kitchen."
Okay. Right. So
Mhm.
yes, Ape starts grabbing his stuff.
All right. Those of you who go downstairs find that the small army turns out to be about 4 dozen men, about 4 dozen youngish men
That's
with with he- with mostly heavy-set bodies and a tight expression on their faces. They are actually there are two kinds you can see. There's one that is the one that's there's one kind there's the one type of person, man, who is just completely covered from head to toe with dust and grime and dirt. And there are the clean ones who are dressed exactly the same, who are just looking normal. Yes. You see a lot of helmets lying around here and there. Helmets with candle stops stuck on top of them.
Oh, are they
Miners.
miners?
Yes.
Hmm. Well, yeah, they have to head out early.
Oh yes.
Miners and all.
They quickly have their breakfast, which is huge. It's the kind of breakfast. It's called the lumberjack's breakfast in certain parts of the world. It's
Oh.
called the miner's breakfast.
Yeah, the kind of breakfast
I
that
know
needs
what
to
that is.
last you the entire day, probably.
Yep, indeed.
Okay.
And the kitchen staff is in a frenzy as they try to feed everyone and make sure that the coffee's that there's enough coffee and whatnot. And 10 minutes later, they all get up and they clump out of the room, they just clump out of the saloon without paying, just leaving. And of course, a few people get lunch boxes and stuff with them for later on. And it's just complete chaos. And then, peace.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yes.
All
Yeah,
right.
on that note, as soon as the ruckus stops, John will just keel over and fall back asleep.
Very well.
I'm going to get me. I'm actually going to get me one of those breakfasts too.
All right. Well, you get it hot and steaming and straight away because they always make more than they actually need.
Perfect.
And you have this huge plate piled up high with calories. And you just look at it and you no longer and you can feel how your stomach goes. Yep, I'm satisfied now.
Yeah. I look at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have ordered that, but damn, that looks good.
Mhm. It's a mighty test of vigor to actually get to clear your plate plate.
Do you want me to roll vigor just to see?
No, it's not needed. Just think of what the most likely result would be.
Yeah, I know. But I'll tell you what, I'm not going to be hungry for the rest of the day.
Nope.
Oof. I will pat my stomach, which has now increased by 3 inches, and be like, that was damn good eating.
And one of the waitresses comes by and refills you. I ask, more coffee, sir?
I look up at her, and is she, like, semi-good looking?
Yes, she's semi-good looking,
Sweet.
with beautiful green eyes.
Sweet. Then what I do is I tell her, actually give me something a little bit stronger and a little yeah, just give me something a little bit stronger, and I drop a quarter onto her tray.
All right. She smiles and goes away and gets you some. Let's see, what would be? Yep, a strong ale.
Mm-hmm.
for Ramses, your inn was just invaded by miners.
I know, I was there.
And after 10 minutes of frenzied feeding, they all got up and clumped out of the room
I know.
without pain. Some of them got lunchboxes with them, and after this army leaves, it's just peace and quiet.
I know.
Yes.
I was there.
I did not catch exactly when you went BRB.
Yeah, I don't think I really missed anything important. Probably
No?
just guys ordering breakfast or whatever.
Getting
Basically.
breakfast.
But I heard
Yeah.
the whole part of the miners. Don't worry.
Good. Right. Your friend from the stagecoach just ordered one of them breakfasts, and he ate it all.
Abraham's probably gonna eat something a little lighter. That looks like it's a little too much for him.
After all, just looking at it makes your stomach go, yeah, I've had enough.
Oh, and by the way, he comes down a little later because he needs to say his morning prayers first.
Of course.
He's probably the last one to arrive.
John isn't awake yet if it's before dawn.
Oh,
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. John wanted to sleep.
Now,
Just
when I
ignores
see
the invasion.
when I see
Actually, no,
Abraham,
he wakes up, curses loudly, and then after it stops, he just keels over and falls back asleep.
when I see Abraham come down, I nod to him and I say, "Hey, priest, why don't you take a seat by me
He
over
just
here?"
holds up his hands and says, "I'm afraid I'm not really a priest, son."
Okay, then
But he sits
man of
down
the faith.
anyway. I may be a man of faith, but I ain't no preacher.
Okay, well, I am sorry if I offended you. I wasn't trying to
No,
offend
not at all.
you or nothing. So,
No offense.
You sleep good?
No offense taken. Just stating a matter of fact.
fair enough. You sleep any good?
As well as a man can in these here parts.
Aw, you talking about that rain we had last night? Oh, that water was heaven. I love water. Water is everything. I love it.
He just moves his head to the side a little bit and he says, "Well, that's not really what I was talking about, but yeah, having a little rain sure is nice.
Oh,
Especially
yes, it
these
is.
days. I
Yes,
heard they
it
got
is.
plenty of water in these here parts.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They are known for it, in fact. That's kind of one of the reasons I'm here.
And behind you, in
Nice
the
place.
background, is a roar of a mighty lion, also known as the waterfall.
Oh, listen to that sound. Isn't that just pure bliss right there?
Beautiful.
Yes, it
Fortunately,
is.
I've been hearing some less pleasant rumors about this place too, and that's why I'm here. I'd hate to see bad things happen to a nice little town like this.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about? Because I've heard a few things myself.
Well, and he actually lowers his voice because I don't want to start a commotion, and please keep this to yourself. But I've been hearing rumors that there's a local gang of bandits that have recently come back from the dead. If you catch my drift.
Now, if you say that to a normal person, they're going to go, "Are you drunk?"
No, he whispers that. He lowers his voice
Yes,
because he
yes,
doesn't want to cause any kind of panic.
But that would be the reaction of a normal person
Okay.
in this
Okay.
in this time and age.
All right.
Now let's see how the mad scientist reacts.
I just shake my head and I say, it just ain't right that things don't want to stay dead. But that's actually not what I was talking about. I heard of something that was kind of little more disturbing, if you will. Something's been burning people to ash.
Well, you immediately see Abraham reacting to that because most of the time he just has this really level-headed expression. He like hardly ever
Mhm.
changes that facial expression. Now he actually looks surprised. Well, it's the first time I heard about that. Why don't you tell me a little more about that? And he actually gets a little closer.
Well, and he quiets down a little bit. You see, as you know, I'm what they call a mad scientist, so to speak. My proficiency is more using water, but I've heard tale of, a monster in these here parts. It burns people
Monster.
to ashes for shit, just for shits and giggles. Does it just because it can. I don't know if it's a monster or not, but something that's able to burn people to ash, that has to be some really, really hot fire because the human body burns at a certain temperature, but it doesn't burn to ash until it's like to the point where not even higher than a blacksmith can get it, if you get my drift.
Yeah, you see Abraham frowning at that and says, "Sounds like hellfire to me."
It does, and that's something one of the things I came here to investigate. I don't like something like that, especially with my
Me neither.
proclivity to water.
Guess I'll have to add that to my list.
Why don't we team up a little bit? Because you got a undead bandit problem, and I got a monster burning people to ash problem, and maybe we can do a little settling between us.
That problem is now also my problem. That sounds like one of the minions of Satan, and I, as a faithful follower of the Lord, cannot allow such a creature to exist. So, you have my aid, sir.
Thank you. And when when you go to deal with those bandits, well, you just let me know, and I'll be right there with you. I like the way you handled yourself back at the stagecoach. Although the whole blinding light kind of thing, please kind of focus that more towards the bad guys and not us, if you don't mind. Collateral damage and all.
First, he says, "I rightly appreciate any help you might be able to offer me, and I do apologize for that. I wanted to take out those hoodlums as fast as possible without causing any collateral damage."
No, I completely understand. And he pulls out this little his camera. He says, "This little thing right here, it'll do kind of the same thing."
It looks. It's a box. It's two boxes. It's a box with a tube on the end. You may have heard of those fancy cameras that the Epitaph uses.
Oh, well, in that case, he says, "That's not one of them boxes they'll steal your soul, ain't it?"
No. That cameras don't steal your soul. Just saying. They only take a picture. Basically, it's kind of like a painting, just done with machines instead of done by hand. But this little thing right here, it doesn't do any of that. What it does is the area around you becomes very hard to see through. So, like, if you were planning to ambush somebody, you would use this, back out of the area, and then just fire away inside of that area. They don't know where it's coming from. They can't see you. You can't see them, but you know you're going to hit them if you fire inside the area because, well, it's not a huge area.
And he frowns a bit at that and says, "That sounds like black magic to me."
It's science, my friend. It's mere science. It's a powdery type substance that just surrounds the area and sits around for a little while as it falls to the ground. But it makes it really hard to see. It's kind of fun.
If you say
it's
all mumbo jumbo to me.
And besides, that whole blinding light thing, if you weren't a preacher, I would say that would be black magic too, just so you know.
He frowns at that. "You did see me pulling out a crucifix, didn't you, son?"
Oh, I saw you pull out a crucifix, and that's why I'm saying if you weren't one of them preacher types, that would be considered black magic. But I
You
feel you're
just
a man of the
watch your
faith.
tongue.
I said I feel you're a man of the faith, so you seem
Good.
to be all right. Things can be interpreted many different ways, is all I'm saying.
And all I'm saying is you can say what you want about me, but I won't be taking any bad words about the Lord. You
Oh, no, no,
understand?
no, no, no. Never, never. I do my prayers and I read my book.
Good.
I'm faithful to the T.
That's not what you were saying earlier, but alright.
What was I saying earlier? I say a lot of things that I don't remember.
When
It
I was
happened.
tying, when I was putting the dead man on the horse. Yeah.
Oh no, I was saying that
What that reminds me of.
I read my book, but if a man's dead. His body ain't holding nothing in it. His soul's gone. The body
And
is
that
just.
body can still be claimed by one of the minions of Satan, if you know what I mean. You gotta be careful what you do with it. You gotta treat it with respect.
I have never heard that. That is. You know, that actually does bring up a point now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Maybe he wasn't lying when he said and he starts going off on his own, thinking about different times he's heard of something like that. Well, yeah,
And
John.
Abraham elaborates, and again lowering his voice, says that a dark spirit can take possession of a dead corpse and reanimate it. You know, like a zombie.